On July 11, 2015, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman sat inside the Altiplano maximum security prison. It was widely considered Mexico's most impenetrable facility. This overhead floor plan of his specific cell maps out exactly what the guards could see. They monitored him 24/7 through a specialized CCTV network, but the system had one physical limitation. The camera's cone of vision couldn't track his movements into the corner shower area. At 8:50 p.m., Guzman walked into that shower space. 30 minutes passed. When the guards finally realized he hadn't stepped back into the frame, they opened up the cell to find it completely empty. Extracting a human being from a sealed concrete box in the middle of a fortified compound requires absolute precision. To pull it off, Guzman relied on a lifetime of mastering subterranean architecture. Decades before becoming a billionaire cartel boss, Guzman was a teenager expelled from his home. With absolutely no income to his name, he survived by hiking deep into remote wilderness areas and cultivating patches of marijuana. By the 1970s, he secured a position managing smuggling operations for an established gang. He strictly enforced deadlines. If a smuggler was late delivering a shipment or made a minor logistical error, Guzman executed them. In the year 1989, authorities arrested the leader of Mexico's largest drug operation. Guzman stepped directly into the power vacuum, establishing his own organization, the Sinaloa Cartel. At the time, American law enforcement agencies heavily patrolled the coastal routes coming through the Caribbean. Guzman ignored the water entirely and routed his operations directly across the land border between Mexico and the United States. Violence alone could secure territory, but crossing an international border at scale required heavy infrastructure. He needed a dedicated, invisible supply chain. His early logistics focused on chemical masking. He packed cocaine inside fire extinguishers and canned chili peppers, bypassing border checkpoints and drug-sniffing dogs. As his revenue grew, he funneled millions of dollars away from surface smuggling and hired professional engineers. They built deep underground networks, fully equipped with electrical grids and forced air ventilation systems. He concentrated his excavation efforts on Otay Mesa, California. It was a dense industrial zone. The constant heavy noise of factory machinery and transport trucks easily masked the sound of his teams drilling through the rock below. This geological cross-section of the Otay Mesa border explains why the terrain was ideal. Excavators could dig rapidly through the soft, damp coastal soil on one side, while the solid bedrock from the surrounding mountains anchored the tunnels and prevented caverns. By analyzing the terrain and masking his acoustics, his engineers pushed the tunnels so deep that law enforcement ground-penetrating radar couldn't detect them. Mexican authorities arrested Guzman in 1993 and handed down a 20-year sentence. He spent the money necessary to bribe the prison staff, turning his cell into an administrative office where he continued to run the cartel's daily operations. In 2001, the Mexican Supreme Court approved a treaty making it easier to extradite prisoners to the United States. Knowing he couldn't bribe American guards, he paid $200,000 to local staff and was smuggled out of the facility inside a laundry basket. He managed his empire on the run for the next 13 years. When Marines finally raided his safe house in 2014, he slipped away through a fully mechanized secret tunnel hidden directly beneath a motorized bathtub. Authorities kept catching him, and Guzman kept using the resulting incarcerations to test out increasingly complex, custom-built extraction routes. This 3D cross-section reveals exactly what his engineers built underneath the Altiplano prison in 2015. They expanded the shower's drain pipe to connect to a vertical shaft, dropping exactly 33 feet straight down into the earth. At the bottom of the shaft was a horizontal tunnel measuring 5 feet and 7 inches tall. Guzman could walk upright for a full kilometer, exiting safely at an abandoned construction site in the distance. He spent 6 months in the open before Mexican Marines tracked him to a coastal compound in Los Mochis. Following an intense firefight, they breached the property and took him back into custody. The Mexican government recognized their own infrastructure couldn't hold him. In 2017, they transferred custody to the United States. Today, he is serving a life sentence inside a supermax facility in the mountains of Colorado. It is designed to be fully impenetrable, but history shows that a concrete wall